Wright Brothers National Memorial is on the Outer Banks of North Carolina in the town of Kill Devil Hills. It celebrates the first powered flight. This video guides you through a tour of the memorial. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification to get new videos of America's national park sites as we visit them in our journey of national parks. On a chilly mid-December day with a temperature in the mid-40s, history was made on a wind-swept sand dune on a spit of land that juts out into the Atlantic Ocean known as the Outer Banks of North Carolina. The wind was blowing at 27 miles per hour. A few locals gathered to witness history and the triumph of human ingenuity. John Daniels stood by a camera ready to record history. Human flight has been a dream for centuries. Many have tried, but none have succeeded. Some, like Samuel Langley, with the backing of the US government, tried and failed. Others, like Otto Lilienthal, paid with their life. Two brothers from Dayton, Ohio, proprietors of a bicycle shop, have been trying also. They made multiple trips to Kitty Hawk and Kill Devil Hills for its isolation, strong wind, high dunes, and fine sand for soft landings, to perfect their flyer. The brothers Wright toiled in the hangar that doubled as their quarters for months at a time to experiment and to refine the Wright flyer. They focus on controllability of the flying machine. Day after day, hour after hour, they drag the flyer through the soft sand to the top of the dunes for experiment with different control surfaces and learn how to fly the machine as a glider. After more than 1,000 flights from the sand dune and lots of wind tunnel work, they have a controllable flyer ready for powered flight. History making is never a straight line. On December 14, 1903, Wilbur won the coin toss and climbed onto the Wright flyer, ready to make history as the first person to achieve sustained powered flight. The engine roared, the propellers spun furiously, and the flyer moved down the 60-foot wooden rail. The flyer went up too steeply, however, stalled, and promptly crashed into the sand. History will have to wait. After 3 days of repairs, it was Orville's turn. In unison, each brother pulled on a propeller and the engine roared to life. Orville climbed onto the flyer, laid down on his stomach, positioned his hip in the cradle that controlled the vertical tails and the wing warp, put one hand on the stick that controlled the horizontal elevator, and held onto the flyer with the other hand. At 10:35 a.m. on December 17, 1903, Orville Wright released the restraining wire. With Wilbur running alongside the flyer, it moved down the rail, lifted off after about 40 feet, and was airborne. It hit the sand after 12 seconds and 120 feet. History was made. John Daniels from the nearby life-saving station snapped a picture with a preset camera for the history books. Wilbur to the next turn and went 175 feet in the same 12 seconds, followed by Orville's 15-second 200 feet fly. The brothers gained experience with each flight and learned to control the flyer better with each flight. The fourth flight, Wilbur's second, was a loft of 59 seconds and went 852 feet. It's the real deal. That original flyer would never fly again, however, because after it landed on the fourth flight, it caught a gust of wind, rolled over, and was damaged beyond repair. The Wright brothers made history on that chilly, windswept day. Man can fly. The Wright Brothers National Memorial is in two parts. The first part is the visitor center and the grounds of the actual first flight. The second part is a memorial that marks the tall sand dune where the brothers practiced and refined the ability to control the flying machine. The visitor center is a 1960s style building with exhibits that tells the story of the Wright brothers and the first flight. A replica of the 1903 Wright flyer, surrounded by floor-to-ceiling windows, sits in the bright room with a view of the paths of the flight. Just outside the visitor center are signs that marks the starting and the landing points of each of the 4 flights on that day. Nearby are reproductions of the hangar the workshop, and the living quarters. The second part of the memorial is the Wright Brothers Monument, located on top of the 90-foot sand dune, where they did over 1,000 glides to test and refine the ability to control the flyer. It was already a bit of a hike for us to go up the 90-foot hill with stairs. Just imagine dragging the 180-pound machine up 90-foot sand dune with soft sand at each step, over and over again. The 60-foot monument has various inscriptions and provides a beautiful view of the visitor center and the path of the first flights. Nearby the monument is a bronze replica of the flyer and the moment of that first flight. The first flight airstrip is a small airport next to the memorial. The runway roughly parallels the original 1903 flight path. David McCullough wrote an excellent book on the Wright brothers that is definitely worth the read. I'll put a link in the description box below. While in the area, be sure to visit Jockey's Ridge State Park with its sand dunes, the Cape Hatteras National Seashore, and the Fort Raleigh National Historical Site. The links for my videos on these sites are in the description box below. Be sure to check them out. The Wright Brothers National Memorial charges $10 per person for entrance. You should allocate 2 to 3 hours for the visit. There are plenty of services nearby for lodging and food. We are on our way to visit all the national parks in the United States. Follow along by hitting the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell so you know when a new video is released. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and please share it with everybody that you know.